in the NBA, there are 9 gentlemen that have won more than 7 championships.
So like more than 7 rings.
Yeah, 7 or more. The most is 11. Bill Russell has 11.
Oof.
So 8 of these 9 gentlemen played with one single franchise in the 50s and 60s, the Boston Celtics, that we talked about in the Jerry West episode.
Yes. Yeah,
and
they
the
had it
9th
all.
gentleman on that list is the subject of today's show.
Hey!
Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob!
Loveable sizes to show that we appreciate you watching.
Robert Keith Horry, born August 25th, 1970 in Maryland. He went to high school in Alabama, and he went to college in Alabama as well.
In the 70s.
And the 80s.
Oh, all right.
88 to 92 is when
All
he played at Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they had some good seasons. I think they went to the Sweet 16 a few times in the tournament.
Okay.
But they never won championships. And he was in the first round. He was drafted in the first round
Hey.
by the Houston Rockets.
Hey! Boom, 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 boom. Clutch City!
Yep, 11th overall pick in the 92 draft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He made an immediate impact there with the Rockets as a rookie. His first big shot that he made in his career was in the playoffs of that first year.
That's when you make your mark.
Yeah, the 93 Western Conference semifinals, they faced off against the Supersonics, and in Game 7, he hit a jumper to take a 2-point lead late in the game.
Oof.
Supersonics ended up tying and then winning that game in overtime. But that was his first, glance at making a big shot in his career.
Oh,
and it continued for the rest of his career. I mean, he was clutch.
If they hadn't have scored in overtime, that history could have been different. Like, he did everything possible and then went one step further.
Robert Horry actually ends up with 3 of the most dominant teams during this era.
Hell yeah.
He never played with the Bulls. The nickname that he earned for making all these clutch shots is Big Shot Rob, but it's interchangeable with Bob. Like a lot of people call him Big Shot Bob, because it's the the alliteration.
Yeah.
In interviews, I've heard him say he doesn't really care either way.
Okay.
But he says his mom calls him Rob. So
well, then
I'm gonna attempt to call him Rob every time, but every time I ever called him by his nickname before was Bob.
I'm going to leave Rob for his mother.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to be a fan. I'm not his mother.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fan and call him Bob.
Big Shot Bob.
Because that sounds so much better. BSB.
Yep.
Backstreet Boys. Come on.
In the 1995
good year
playoffs, he had 2 huge shots too.
And he's playing for...
Still with the Rockets.
Oh, okay.
In the Western Conference Finals, they were playing the Spurs. So it was a huge series. And in Game 1, that's when he made his impact. Game 1, with 6 seconds left, he hits a game-winning, shot. Yeah, so they beat the Spurs in Game 1.
Looking back, if I knew anything about basketball, I would have been a Rockets fan.
Yeah, that back-to-back run with Akeem the Dream was magical.
That was my grandma's team. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, it's not the cool
She'd
one.
be knowing though. She'd be knowing.
And in the finals against the Orlando Magic, he had another big shot. That was in Game 3. They were up by a single point, and he, with 20 seconds left, he sinks
He's that close. He's a closer.
Yeah, there's an announcer. He'll scream out the word dagger when they make a shot like that.
Dagger.
Yeah, that, like, puts it at a distance.
Nice.
So he made that shot in the finals, Game 3, to go up 3-0, and then they ended up sweeping Shaq in the Magic.
I saw Shaq play with Magic.
Yeah,
but he played the Mavs.
Oh, okay, in Dallas.
Yeah,
Reunion Arena.
Reunion Arena.
Whoa, cool.
My mom got us tickets, and they were on the very last row at Reunion Arena, and I bitched the whole night. And she thought she was doing something amazing for her son, and I was the worst son in the world. I apologize for that night.
Willa Walla dang y'all, call your grandma. If you feel lonely, they feel lonely. Call your grandma. Gam Gam Granny GG, whatever you call her, just call today.
I suggest you call your grandma.
He was a huge part of that back-to-back Rockets finals. He was starter for the Rockets, and he was pivotal to them. And he stayed with the Rockets for what was it? Another season.
Okay.
And then after
they
the
traded him.
'96 season, that's when he was traded.
Mm.
He was part of a 4-player package that was traded to the Suns in return for Charles Barkley.
One person.
Yeah, to come over to the Rockets.
I mean, it is fucking King Charles.
Yeah. At the time, you were trading for one of the biggest superstars in the league. You know, I mean, it's a huge trade, and it should have worked out because they had Clyde Drexler too. So it was it was a pretty huge team that they set up, and they did make some good runs. It's just the Bulls.
I'm gonna go just like every other sports team in Houston, and blame the owner for bad decisions.
Yep.
Because you can have the best players and go nowhere.
Yeah.
Because the owners pick somebody.
And if you just blame the spooky man behind the curtain,
the man,
then you don't have to have any facts behind it.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
"It's this
Everybody
fault.
hates that
Fuck
guy.
that guy."
Yeah, he's rich. We're not.
Yep. After a year with the Suns, they sent him off to L.A. And
Okay.
they sent him over to join
Lakers.
Kobe and Shaq.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. So at this point, Shaq's over at the Lakers now.
Yeah, Shaq went over to the Lakers. I
remember
think
that.
a few years ago, and Kobe went and was drafted in '96.
Okay.
Drafted by the Hornets and then traded to the Lakers.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And he was right out of high school, right?
Lower Marion. Yeah, straight out of high school.
What'd you call me?
So his first couple years at the Lakers are Kobe's second and third year, so they're still kind of figuring things out. And the Bulls were finishing off their six-peat.
Oh,
You know.
damn. Yeah.
Oh, and that's 6-time champions: Jordan, Pippen, Kareem, and Bob Cousy of the Celtics. So Bob Cousy got 6, and then he left to go coach Boston College.
Oh, damn.
So it's like even one of the 6-time champions was a Celtic.
Yeah.
8 of the 9 7-time champions were all.
Golly.
Yeah, so they.
That is a dynasty. Whether we want to admit it or not, that's a dynasty.
Yeah, it's undeniable. The 50s and 60s Celtics. So already a 2-time champion. After a couple years with the Lakers, they get their shit figured out, and they go bam, 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 3 years in a row champions.
So he now has
5 rings,
oh man, he's almost got a gauntlet.
and part of those 3 years, he's got some big shots that he hit in those years. In the 01
Big
finals,
Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob hits
And
again.
It's starting to make sense now.
Yep. He does another dagger against the 76ers in the game 3 of the finals. in
What year
01.
was that? 01?
Yep.
Oh, that's our year.
Yep. And then in 02, in the first round, he hits a game winner with 2.1 seconds left against the Trailblazers. And then in the Western Conference Finals, in game 4, he hits a game winning at the buzzer against Sacramento.
The Kings?
The Kings. Yeah. And they were down 2-1. So if
They
he
don't have
hadn't hit
Steph
that
Curry
shot,
at this time.
no,
Oh, he's
never
a
played for
Golden State
Sacramento.
Warrior.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. I got my Bay Areas mixed up. My bad.
Yeah, 02 Sacramento. I don't think
Who's-
Chris Webber was still there. I'm not sure who was on Sacramento in 02, to be honest.
Kevin
with you.
Durant.
No, not at all.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Kevin Durant was probably still in high school, or he might have been in middle school in 02.
Really?
Maybe.
I could have sworn. Okay. Who am I thinking of that was in movies?
Kevin Durant was in movies.
Okay, yeah. Like, those were movies made after 02. Or at 02.
Oh, that's true. He was in Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck!
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'll just squeeze a commercial break in right here. The losers are brought to you by the Trains Agenda, a loose conglomeration of hobby train collectors that are joining together to fight. Fight what, you may ask? Well, stop mini donkey production. Mini donkeys have no place on miniature train towns ever. The Trains Agenda is still working on finding more issues that affect us. But these abominations need to be stopped. Join the Trains Agenda today. We have 4 satellite branches in Reno, Fargo, Key Largo, and Turks and Caicos. More coming too. Now back to the living room.
So the team that won right before and right after their three-peat
Mm.
was another dynasty in the making, the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, yeah.
And after their win in 03, Bob comes and joins them.
He went to San Antonio?
So, yeah, his third stop was San Antonio.
And what year is this?
2003.
Oh,
He moves over to San
I do
Antonio.
not remember that year at all.
Yep.
Mm, mm.
But Detroit wins. They beat Los Angeles in 04. And then in 05, Big Shot Bob is back in the finals.
Whew. Who are they playing?
They played Detroit in the NBA Finals in 2005. The Detroit Pistons.
Ah, okay. I kept saying Lions, and I was like, that's not right.
And that's when another Big Shot Bob clutch hit.
Oof.
Clutch three-pointer comes into play.
3 points.
2005 NBA Finals. Game
Touchdown,
5.
Pacers.
2-2 tie with Detroit. He hits a three-pointer with 5.9 seconds left
Ooh.
to give them a 96-95 win.
Damn.
And that's in overtime. He scores 21 points in fourth quarter in overtime.
Golly.
So let's go.
Yeah.
That clutch three-pointer was the cherry on the top, and
Oof, of course it is.
he picked up the slack. He was kind of a role player at that point in his career, and
Like French maid.
in this game, Tim Duncan kind of struggled a little bit. He was missing some free throws, a little bit off, a little bit not himself. But Horry picked up the slack, 21 points in fourth quarter and overtime, game winner at the end.
Damn.
They take a 3-2 lead, and they finish him off in 7 games. So he gets his 6th championship ring, as
You
many
think-
as Jordan and Pippen.
All right, let's say you have 5 rings and
Yeah.
you get the 6th one. Which finger do you put the 6th one on?
Oh yeah,
Do you start there, or do you start at the thumb so that it's
I saw him take. He took a picture with the 7, and he did these 2.
okay? So it's definitely not the thumb. So he probably started with this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or you.
Yeah. That would be hilarious. That's what I would do. We're gonna say that's what he did.
Yeah, 2-time champion. 2006. That was when the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat played in the finals.
Ooh.
That was Dwayne Wade and Shaq. They
Oh,
won
damn.
their championship.
See, that's a different Orlando or
I know.
Florida team.
Do you remember when that happened?
No.
When Dwayne Wade.
See, that would have been at the American Airlines.
Yeah.
So a whole different stadium than the one I went to. Even during a basketball game, Reunion Arena smelled like the circus. Like they never got the circus smell out of that building.
That's nuts.
Moose, Moose, Moose Express, Mail, Mail, Mail Express. Moose, Moose, Moose Express, Mail, Mail, Mail Express.
Now we've reached the penultimate season in Robert Horry's career. The 06-07 season.
Ooh, I
And
still
he
don't
gets-
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember the odds
Been
at
blank.
all.
3-7 was kind of just a blank spot.
It's all 1 6-month period.
That's probably everyone's early 20s just flies by,
Yeah.
Robert's last big shot in Big Shots Bob's career was there in the 07 Western Conference first round
With the Spurs.
with the Spurs.
Okay.
Yep. They beat the Denver Nuggets
Yeah.
in Game 4.
I hate the Nuggets.
That was another dagger 3 where they were up by 1 and he hits a 3-pointer with 35 seconds left.
Big shot, Bob!
And then in the finals that year, they sweep young LeBron James.
Oh, wow.
And that gives Big Shot Bob 7 and 07. 08 is last season of his career. 07-08. That was when the Boston set up their big 3 and they beat Kobe and the Lakers in the
Ooh.
finals that year.
Boston coming back.
But that was Robert Horry's last season of his career.
Mm.
1,107 total games. Scored 7,700 points, 5,200 rebounds, 2,300 assists. Fun little tidbits about Big Shot Bob is his regular season averages, and then there's a bump for playoff averages, and then
Ooh.
there's a big bump for finals averages. So he averages 7 points a game, but 7.9 in the playoffs, 9.7 in the finals,
Damn.
4.8 rebounds per game, but 6 in the finals.
I
you
bet
know?
it's like 8 points in the last 2 seconds. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
if you
clutch.
went back and looked at all the...
Oh yeah.
he played when Houston was called Clutch City.
Yeah,
He played for the Rockets when they were Clutch
He
City.
was a big part of why they.
and
got
he
that
was the
moniker.
clutch.
Houston, he was a starter, pivotal starter. In L.A. and San Antonio, he was more of a role player, a backup guy.
Facilitator.
Yeah, but a veteran leader, and then he fucking sunk these killer shots
Last minute.
at the end of the
Yeah.
game. That
Closer.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
know that if the ball just like the one against Sacramento, it was just this weird play. The ball gets batted all around, and it just lands in his lap, and he just bam, ice in his veins.
I bet it licked the rim,
Yeah.
poked it with its finger a little bit, dribbled on the outside, and came back in.
Yep, and then just took their souls like shit, So it is 244 career playoff games. He shot almost 40% from three in the finals. He held a record for most 3-pointers in the finals with 56 when he retired. Right now he's 6th place, so Steph Curry's
it's
probably
just-
first in that now.
It's gonna just get bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah, more
But
because
these
3-pointers
guys are playing 20 years though. How many years did he play total?
16.
Wow,
16
okay.
total.
I can't really argue that. I mean, that's pretty damn close to 20 years.
But half of it was a role player off the bench a lot. So and he also another record that he set was in the game 2 of the Western Conference Finals against the Jazz. He sunk 7 consecutive 3-pointers without a miss. That's an NBA record still.
Still?
And most
Ooh.
steals in a finals game, he holds that NBA record too.
How many?
I don't know, 117 maybe.
Oh shit! We had 2 different numbers there.
I didn't write it down. It's something.
All right, well, move your lips and we'll dub it in.
3.
Threevin.
Yep. But Robert Horry is not a Hall of Famer. Like
That's why we're talking about him.
on the shoulder of these clutch shots alone, and
Big
then,
shot Bob.
and then a 16-year career of contribution to championship winning teams. Like he should. I mean, he shouldn't have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, I'll give you that, but by now,
By now
he should have been.
All right, let's see how many of our lovable losers.
Yeah,
Get into
if we
the
can
Hall of
find a
Fame.
lot of good Hall of Very Gooders.
Today, you can help. These are great, great athletes and wonderful human beings. Help us get them into the Hall of Fame today. With your signature, we can get onto another waiting list to find out if we even have a chance. But your help will help. So help today and get them in Hall of Fame.
For just $463 a day, you can sponsor a former professional athlete waiting to be inducted into their respective Hall of Fame.
Loveable losers. Listen.